In this video, I want to talk about a topic that should be your number one concern. It's something that's impacting the entire world around us in real time, but especially impacting your value and your ability to contribute to the world. And if you're not currently taking the steps and the action required that I'm going to explain throughout this video, then you are genuinely becoming obsolete in real time. I'm able to talk about this topic because I offer a very unique perspective based on my position. I work with hundreds of entrepreneurs on a daily basis because I run one of the fastest and biggest entrepreneurship communities on the planet. And using facts and data, I'm going to reveal a lot of hard truths that are happening around the world right now that you might not realize, that nobody is going to tell you about, and that if you don't do something about it, it's going to be far too late for you. We actually did a very interesting survey on my members recently where we found out that 30% of those who joined my community are actually without work or were recently laid off. And another 20% of them had some sort of paranoia or fear that in the future they were going to be laid off or that their skills would no longer be required or in demand. And this is absolutely the truth. Human beings are becoming less and less essential in the workplace. And with artificial intelligence on the rise, this is absolutely only going to become worse. So they joined to try and take their future back into their own hands. And there's countless studies and data that back this up that we're going to go through right now. But the point is that nobody is coming to save you. This is not a recession. This is not like something we've seen before. This is a monumental shift in the way that the economy and the world is going to be run. And deep down, we all knew that this was inevitable. We've seen it in Hollywood, we've seen it in the media, but now it's actually coming and it's happening in front of us in real time. The issue with changes like this is that we only see it after it's too late and after it's too late to do something about it. But all of the signs are here. Nobody's coming to save you. So it's only up to you to take action to do something about this. So we're going to go over exactly how you're becoming obsolete in real time. So here are the facts. Businesses all over the world are conducting mass layoffs, downsizing, offshoring, nearshoring, whatever it is. People are losing their jobs and companies are getting smaller. You can literally go on Google, just type in the word layoffs, sorted by news, and you can see every day that there's thousands of people who are losing their jobs. Regular people are not justifying their value and are being left to fend for themselves. In 2024 so far, over 300,000 jobs have been lost, according to Routers. And 250,000 were lost last year. I bet you know your friends or family members who've lost their jobs recently and are having a very tough time finding a new one because it's one of the worst job markets and the most competitive ones in history. So you can see these layoffs right here, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 1 week ago. These are mass layoffs that are happening in real time right around us. You can see in July, all of these companies let go of their staff, 10% of their staff, 14% of their workforce, thousands of people. This is very serious and unprecedented because a lot of these people who lose their jobs are not going to find new ones. This is not a recession. This is not like 2008. The reason that this is happening is fundamentally different than anything else. And the biggest impact on this is on the job market. With hundreds of thousands of new people entering the job market and becoming job seekers, plus the hundreds of thousands of new graduates, the pool is bigger and as competitive as ever. You can scroll on TikTok and you can see people complaining that they've applied to thousands of jobs and they haven't landed a single interview or they're not making it past the first or second round. People aren't getting re-employed. One crazy figure that I saw is that the average job posting has 450 candidates. That's the ratio right now. If companies are now employing artificial intelligence and these agents that can do the job of 10, 15 people at one time, why would companies ever reintroduce those jobs again? So the big question is why? Why is this happening? So there's many factors to this. One is that companies were overhiring. So over the last few years, companies did hire far more than they could sustain. And now they're realizing that with the competitive pressures they need to cut back in order to remain competitive. And a lot of roles are just useless, especially in middle management. There's just no justifiable reason for these payroll expenses that these companies bear. And another major factor is increasing globalization. So we've seen companies that are now nearshoring or offshoring, meaning that they're outsourcing a lot of their labor to other countries, sometimes third world countries like the Philippines or countries in South Asia, just because of the insane cost savings that they're going to get. Plus the quality of work is now somewhat comparable as well. We've also seen a decrease in the funding from venture capital and VC funds. Companies aren't able to raise money or get investment, so they can't justify the payroll that they currently have, causing them to have to lay off. And another big one is competitive pressures, because if your competition is doing all of these things and they're reducing their payroll and they're downsizing and they're becoming more efficient, then you kind of have no choice but to also do that as well. So it's sort of like a domino effect. If they do it, then you have to react accordingly in order to stay competitive. And that just becomes a vicious cycle. But the most important reason and the reason for this video and why it's leading to obsolescence for a lot of workers, perhaps like yourself, is the rise of AI and automation. You've seen the rapid growth of all these tools that are coming out, agents being deployed, companies putting them into their business, the voice agents that are handling customer support now. The time is coming and the time is here. Like, we've been waiting for it. We knew it was inevitable. but it's coming a lot faster than any of us ever realized. So yeah, we are now seeing AI programs and agents being deployed to do work that was once required by a human, but not necessarily anymore. And you might raise the argument of morals and ethics into it, but in the eyes of a shareholder or business owner, the decision between AI and humans, morals aside, is a complete no-brainer. AI works 24/7 with no complaints, no vacation, no sick days, and at a fraction of a cost of a human being, just objectively speaking. And this is happening as we speak in real time. So I'm going to take you through some real world examples. But the Washington Post, for example, they have a program called the Heliograph, which is their AI tool. It produced 850 articles in its first year, which, you might not have any reference to that if it's a lot or not, but the average writer produces 50 to 200 per year. So if they scale up their AI tool and they just deploy a bunch more agents, their output is going to be immeasurable. And the quality is the same, if not even better, and it's only going to improve, which is the worst part. JP Morgan's another example. So they have a contract intelligence platform that uses AI to review legal documents, and it can analyze and extract vital information from hundreds of documents within seconds. And to put that into perspective, that same job would take human lawyers 360,000 hours annually. So again, the difference is very clear. And there's so many examples of this. Bank of America has a virtual assistant handling over 50 million customer requests in its first year. A typical customer service rep might handle a few hundred calls per day. That's 75,000 calls per year. Not comparable. And every consumer or client-facing business has customer service representatives, so this is a massive one. And there's physical business examples as well. So Blended is an example of a smoothie kiosk, but it's completely autonomous, meaning that it's run by robots. And the kiosk can produce up to 45 smoothies per hour, while a human makes between 15 and 20. And maybe in this example, it might not seem like the biggest deal, but you have to understand that this is the worst that it'll ever be. The technology will only get better from here. These AI agents are capable of taking over almost any role imaginable. And you yourself know that intrinsically that this is inevitable. It's going to get to that point, and all of the signs are here that we're headed there right now. All right, so enough of the doom and gloom. What's the actual solution here? And right now, I only see one path to truly future-proofing yourself, and it's to become a master of the machines. That's the best way that you can position yourself. It's about learning how to use the AI, investing in education and tools to reskill yourself. That's the only way. You can doubt its inevitability, you can be ignorant, you can be naive, you can kind of refuse that this is the future, or you can join the dark side and then you can actually decide to just reskill yourself and join the side of the machines. Because for a while, these AI agents won't be fully autonomous, at least for a while. You're going to need us to implement, train, manage, and monitor them, and jobs will be created for those who can do this stuff. This is where the demand will be for the time being. Those who are experts on the latest AI tools, who are keeping up with education and know how to implement them for businesses, that's where the winners will be in the short term, working alongside them. And to illustrate this, I'll just give you two scenarios. We've got video editor A, we've got video editor B. So video editor A, maybe he watched this video and he took a firm stance on the fact that, he's a great video editor, he's irreplaceable, and AI is not going to be the future. He spends a lot of care and pride in his work, taking a week to deliver the perfect video for his clients. He knows that he's fantastic and he charges $1,000 per video. Video editor B has the foresight and he sees the signs and he sees the way that the world is headed, and he explores new AI video editing tools that are coming out like InVideo and Capwing, and he's keeping himself educated and on the forefront of these, AI releases. He learns and realizes that these tools can produce amazing output at a fraction of the time and cost. He lowers his rate to $250 per video, but he increases his output to 10 videos per day, and he can service multiple clients at once. So he's an example of somebody who's reskilling himself and using these tools, educating himself to be prepared for what's coming in the future. And it's very clear out of those two who's going to be winner in this revolution and who's on their way to becoming obsolete. Now, practical takeaways for you is that new AI tools are being released every day, which are relevant and specific to your industry. Education is protection right now. You should be investing into learning how to prompt, how to manipulate AI, how to build projects, build a portfolio, and achieve valuable outcomes for either your employer, yourself, or businesses that you want to sell to. Businesses will keep and hire the ones that utilize AI to generate the super productive results that they want, and those who can achieve those results are on their way out. But if you can show your employer and the market that you know how to use AI to supercharge productivity and achieve more than a regular person could, then that's where your value is. You become almost like this supercharged hybrid employee in their eyes that's like part AI, part human. And that's what they really want right now. Because all they care about is what is your output and how much value can you create. And they're going to compare everyone against that same metric. Now for myself, I obviously saw this coming from a mile away, so I'm positioned quite well. I've been in the AI space for almost 2-3 years now. And members of my accelerator and my programs have also had the foresight to start preparing themselves and positioning themselves as AI experts so they can retain and increase their market value. So that's why I place such a heavy emphasis inside my programs on education and keeping up with the latest tools and how to best position yourself as that supercharged hybrid employee. So I'm going to leave you with all of the signs are here. It's just about you realizing and waking up to exactly what's happening right under your nose. The world is shifting as we speak. It's still very early, but those who become proficient in the tools of the future are the ones that are going to be best set up. And I genuinely don't know what the remainder of 90% of people are going to do, because not everyone is going to do this. Not everyone has the foresight, or, they're just lazy. They're not going to take the action that's required to position themselves well for the future. And they're not my concern. Those who are watching this video who are excited and sparked up about this and see this as the opportunity that it is, they're the ones that I want to work with. So if you are interested, you can join my school community. It's completely free, but we give you access to AI and automation trainings. You can get started as, automation operator if you want. We've also got comprehensive programs as well to teach you as far as you want to go. But there's so many resources on YouTube, my content. It's all about taking action. But the fact that you've watched this video up until this point means that you have no excuse, because now your eyes and your mind should be awake to what's happening. And then in 6 months and a year and 2 years down the line, when you realize it's too late, you have nobody but yourself to blame. So please take action today. Start putting a plan together. Look at the tools that are coming out that are relevant for you and your industry and your expertise, and figure out how you can become a supercharged hybrid human. And if you need my guidance with that, you can message me directly on school. I'll be happy to help out. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the other side.